China's got 1.4 billion people, right? Xiamen should have over 5 million, but now, streets are empty, malls empty, shops, no one inside. Where did everyone go? Anyone from Xiamen? Let me know what's happening.
早上10点半到集美万达。
It's 10:30 in the morning and I came to Wanda Mall. Thought I'd talk to a few shop owners, but wow, the place was dead quiet. The sales girls looked so bored they were probably counting the wrinkles on their own faces just to pass the time. At 2 p.m. I went to Aegean Mall in Tong'an. It's new, just opened not long ago, but barely anyone there either. Couldn't take it anymore, so I went downtown. Guess today's another bust.
没人。
Nobody here, still nobody, still no one. Feels like Oolong Yu has really gone cold. China's economy has been getting worse lately. Businesses of all kinds are struggling. From factories to local shops, a lot have shut down. Even in big coastal cities that used to be booming, things aren't looking good anymore. Take Xiamen for example. After many Taiwanese investors pulled out, the local economy started to go downhill. People are leaving the city. Some reports say as many as 5 million have moved away. Once busy shopping areas and neighborhoods are now super quiet. Life's getting harder, and many people have just given up trying. Today, let's talk about the decline of Xiamen. But before we do, we would like to invite you to subscribe. Your support is our greatest motivation and allows us to bring you more valuable content. Now, moving on. I really don't get it. It's a Sunday night and this is what Zhensuo'en looks like. When I came here a few years ago, it was so lively. Streets full of people everywhere you looked. And now, only one street has a bit of life. That's it. It feels so different now. I almost don't recognize the place. Many stores are shut, there are barely any people, and the vibe is just gone. What happened? There are still some good food and local snacks you can buy, but it's nothing like before.
厦门早期啊。
Wanda Plaza in Huli was once one of the busiest malls in Xiamen. Today is Thursday and it's 6:45 in the evening, normally dinner rush hour, but now, the place is nearly empty. Back in 2017 and 2018, the Golden Street outside the mall was packed, just like a street festival. Look at it now, not a soul around. That one used to be a Vietnamese place. Here is Shu Dai Shai, a restaurant, not a single customer in sight. This spot used to be a drink shop owned by someone I know. I forgot the name, but back in 2017, 2018, and 2019, it was super popular. People lined up outside every day. This whitewater sheep place sells home-style food. These fast, small restaurants were doing great back then, easy to run, and the food comes out really fast. 3 shops in a row with 4 rent signs on a Thursday night and barely anyone is here. You really can't compare it to how it was before. It's not because the mall is poorly managed. The real problem is, Xiamen's population has dropped a lot and there just aren't enough people anymore. He said Huli Wanda was one of the first shopping malls in Xiamen, and from 2017 to 2019, it was always full of people.
因为我在
I opened my first shop here when Wanda just started. Business back then, it was great. Wave after wave of customers. Weekends, we were too busy to even breathe. It was super hard to rent a shop here. Even if you offered big money, no one wanted to give up their space. This store here, closed, used to be a Cosbelly. It used to be packed, and I mean every single day, not just weekends. Now, it's shut down. This one used to be Fat Grandma. Before that, it was Joe Ma Po. It also closed. That big place used to be Ton Duck Blood Hot Pot, huge restaurant, also gone. And once these big shops close down, it's really hard to rent them out again. I saw online that many stores in Caitong Plaza have closed, so we decided to check it out in person. From this angle, it's clear probably over 90% of the stores are closed. I can hardly believe it. This mall used to be so lively in my mind, and in just 1 or 2 years, it's become like this, almost no people. Caitong is still a pretty central area of Xiamen. Before, about 60,000 migrant workers lived in Caitong village, but after the village was demolished in March 2021, the place has been really quiet. Even though the village is gone, you still see some school kids from nearby schools hanging out here after school. I guess that's the only bit of life left in Caitong Plaza now. This is How Could Lai Steakhouse, a restaurant that a lot of people probably visited back in the day. Lao Xiangqin, it's the only big restaurant still open, and our T-Mart is still running, but the foot traffic is definitely much lower than before.
厦门啊，想说爱你。
Xiamen, it's really hard to say I love you. 2 months ago, I moved here full of hope. People always say great things about Xiamen, a beautiful seaside city, relaxed lifestyle, nice weather. I thought I was coming to a dream city, but reality, it hit me hard. Working here has been rough. The daily commute is long and tiring. On the subway, I get squeezed from all sides, just another tired face in a sea of strangers. It honestly feels like I'm just drifting through the day, not really living it. After work, I come back to a tiny rented apartment, barely 10 or 20 square meters. It's so small and quiet, it makes me feel even lonelier. There's no warmth, no home feeling, just a box to sleep in. Of course, this isn't just a Xiamen problem. A lot of big cities are like this now. The job is exhausting, overtime has become normal, but there's no extra pay. The pressure never stops, and I can feel both my body and mind wearing out day by day. And don't even get me started on housing prices. Rent is sky high. Buying a home? Impossible. For someone from out of town like me, the cost of living is just too much. It's really hard to feel like you belong here.
弟弟毕业后来厦门。
My little brother just started working in Xiamen after graduating. He finally got his first paycheck this month. He's working as an e-commerce assistant and only gets 1 day off a week. He told me his salary was just $600. Now, if you look online, they say the average salary in Xiamen is around $1,300. Some of my friends even thought it must be at least $1,400. But the reality is far from that. For most regular young people, especially fresh grads like my brother, $600 is actually pretty normal. The job market this year is really bad. The economy is in a slump. A lot of small businesses have closed down, and many companies aren't even hiring interns anymore. For Gen Z, forget changing the workplace. Just getting into the workplace is already hard enough, and honestly, it's not their fault. My brother graduated from Yang'an University this year. When he decided to leave Longyan and come to Xiamen to work, we told him the most important thing is just to calm down, find a job, and be able to support himself. Right now, he's still on probation, but he says once he's officially hired, his salary might go up, maybe by a few dozen bucks. He's also doing some side gigs to earn extra income. But let's be real, trying to survive in Xiamen on $600 a month, that's really tough. These two young guys just graduated from college. One majored in animation, the other in engineering. But now, they're working in a factory doing manual loading jobs. These days, having any job at all is a blessing. Don't be too picky, especially if you're fresh out of school. For young people in their 20s, it doesn't matter whether the salary is high or low, just take the job first, no matter what it is. Some kids just can't let go of their pride. They think, I went to college, how can I take a job that pays only $500 a month? So they end up in this weird spot, too proud to take a low job, but not qualified for a high one either. Let's be real, the job market is tough. Pressure's high and good opportunities are rare. So if you find a job, any job, that's already a win. Take it, get some experience, and climb from there. Don't just sit at home, because the longer you do, the harder it is to get back in the game. Now let's talk about today's unemployment wave and how it's way worse than our parents' generation's layoffs. Back then, when people got laid off, they had no debt, no mortgages, no car loans, no credit card bills. As long as they were willing to work, they could still make a living and feed their families. But now, people losing their jobs are drowning in debt, house payments, car loans, and piles of credit cards. And the worst part, they have no idea where to go next. Job options are limited, and the future feels pretty hopeless. Losing your job today doesn't just hurt your pride, it could wreck your entire life. You're not just broke, you're deep in the red. That's what makes unemployment now so much scarier than before. Am I right or what?
现在厦门的现状说出来啊。
You probably wouldn't believe what's going on in Xiamen right now. Since the Chinese New Year, a lot of people still haven't found a job. Some companies have even laid off more than half their staff. And you know what's crazy? In this kind of economy, the real winners are the ones who didn't do anything. If you got married late, didn't buy a house 3 years ago, or never tried to start a business, congratulations, you're ahead of most people. Seriously, these past few years doing nothing was the smartest move. The ones who actually worked hard, tried to make it, or had big plans, most of them ended up exhausted, broke, and buried in debt. Let me tell you about the beauty salon downstairs in my building. In just 1 year, it had 3 different owners. The whole street is full of shops with for rent and business closing signs. Even in my own industry, people who've been doing the same thing for 10 plus years are giving up and changing careers. At this point, I'm just confused. Why is the economy doing so bad? Why does it feel like no business can survive anymore? Do any of you know what's going on?
嘿，朋友们，我现在在
Hey guys, I'm at a new shopping mall here in Xiamen called 3Q City. It only opened about 3 or 4 months ago, so I thought I'd come take a look. But what's going on here? It's Sunday and the place is almost empty. A bunch of restaurants have already shut down and the whole row of shops is covered up behind construction walls. Let me tell you, when a restaurant closes, all their equipment is basically sold for next to nothing. Second-hand buyers might only offer 10% of what it originally cost, if they're even interested. Tables, chairs, same thing. As for the renovation work, that money's just gone. You can't take any of that with you. And because many of these places shut down earlier than planned, a lot of their stuff is still stuck inside. The mall won't let them move anything out, so the owners end up losing everything. If they had extra food stored up, there's no way to finish it. It just expires and gets thrown out. This blogger also mentioned that renting an apartment in Xiamen has become super easy now. A few years ago, places near the airport were super popular, hard to find, and expensive. But now, her landlord even lowered her rent, which is something that never used to happen before.
我真的有感觉厦门好像
Lately, I've had this strong feeling there just aren't that many people in Xiamen this year. Actually, I already started to notice it back in 2024, but this year it's just so obvious. I live in one of the urban villages on the island, and it's been super quiet. Feels like hardly anyone's around. Now it's already the end of March, almost April. By this time, people who were planning to come to Xiamen for work should have already arrived. But this year, it doesn't seem like that's the case. The city still feels kind of empty. I don't know what the rental market is like in your city, but here's what I'm seeing around me. The 2 apartments near me, one next door and one across the hall, are both 1-bedroom units. One of them has been empty since last summer. The tenant moved out around August, and since September no one has moved in, still sitting there completely empty. The other one has been vacant since November last year. Same story. A few months have gone by and it's still not rented out. It's kind of surprising to see so many empty places just sitting there. I haven't even paid my rent yet this year. I told my landlord, hey, rent prices are dropping everywhere. How about giving me a discount too? And he actually agreed. He knocked off a little from the monthly rent. Since I work near the airport, most people around here live in village apartments like this. It's convenient and usually cheaper than other areas. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.